My peace story started when I was growing up. My dad was a diplomat with the United States government, and I grew up in South America. And I lived in Argentina for a year teaching English in Gualeguaychú, which is north of Buenos Aires, and started going to Saddleback later in life when I came back to the United States. And Saddleback targeted Argentina for missions, and I wanted to go. So I went on the first trip that Saddleback did to Mendoza, Argentina, and it was for a purpose-driven church conference. And when I went down, when I came back, I knew that God was tugging at my heart to go back to Argentina. And that was before the peace plan started at Saddleback. So I didn't really know how I was going to get involved. All I knew was I wanted to go back. And so I took 301, and at that time, David Sean was teaching it. And he asked me a question that changed my life. And that question was, what would you do for God if you knew you couldn't fail? And I said, I would go back to Argentina and help with the churches and evangelize that nation. And little did I know when I left that day that that would change the entire trajectory of my life. And so the peace plan began a couple years later, and we went back the next year with the Purpose Driven Life Conference in 5 different cities in Argentina. And I went to Paraná, and once again fell in love with Argentina, and I knew God just wanted me to keep going down there. 2,500 pastors went to those conferences all over Argentina. So it began. The adventure of my lifetime began. So I came back, and they started the peace plan, and I've been involved with the peace plan for 16 years now, since the beginning. And the way it changed my life is that slowly there was a narrowing in my life, and I realized that that was the call that God had given me. And I went through different times with the peace plan. We had a pioneer phase. We had all different types of things that happened that were so exciting. And so things in my life started to drop off, and I wanted just to focus on the peace plan. And the peace plan has not only brought me a purpose in my life, but it's brought me a family of people that I never dreamt I would be involved in Argentina and here at Saddleback Church. And if you're thinking about getting involved in peace, I'm telling you, it's the best thing that you could possibly do, because it not only changes your life, but it just puts you on an adventure for God and brings you a huge church family. Thank you.
And when I got to work with Kathy here, I got to work with her. We're both flight attendants, and we were working together, and she said, I know you go to Saddleback, and we talked about how much we love Saddleback, and then she said, you should come with me to Argentina. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was really excited about that. And then by the time I said yes, but Kathy, I just don't want to talk in front of people. And she was like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, Shana. It'll be fine. And the second day we were there, we went to Tigre. I got to go with 4 of us. It was Sharon, Howard, Kathy, and I. And we went to Tigre, and Pastor Christian was giving us a tour around their beautiful church. And he said that they were doing Celebrate Recovery that Friday night, and they were doing testimony night. So Howard said, oh, we have someone, put his hand on my shoulder, that could give her testimony. No problem. And I was like, what's happening? But, of course I said yes. I was humbled and honored to do that. For God, and for all the people that go to Celebrate Recovery, so they could kind of find out, even in America, we have our hurts and our habits and our struggles that we go through. So it was really important for me to do that. And so I got to give my testimony on that Friday night, and it really was amazing how the people came around and shared their stories. They hugged, they cried, we laughed. It was just like Jesus was there in that room. I love putting the 2 things together, Jesus and recovery. And to see that happen together was such an amazing night that I will never forget. Then the following year, I went back with the same team, and it was amazing. And Howard asked me to be a leader on the leadership team, to be a liaison for CR in in the Celebrate Recovery. So it was like putting the two things together. Nobody could have done that but Jesus. He knew exactly what I needed and what my purpose would be. And to finally find my purpose in life was life-changing for me. So I just encourage you to get involved with Peace and follow in God's steps. Thank you.